During a wide-ranging Meet the Press interview yesterday, a question about mass deportations turned into a debate on civics. Take a look.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials.
Don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Okay. In case you need a refresher course, do you remember doing this?
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the office of President of the United States
the office of President of the United States
and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So I don't know why you don't remember it.
Yeah.
Because we saw you say it. This isn't AI you.
No.
That was you.
Twice.
2 times.
Yeah.
So when you say you don't know, you have to check, then you shouldn't be president if you don't know the job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why are you doing this? And don't act like we're the idiots here.
Yeah.
You know the job, and yes, you know you are violating your oath of office by doing that. Or am I crazy?
No, you're not.
Okay.
It's something it's been troubling to me for such a long time. Alyssa and I were speaking. When I became a federal prosecutor, that's a pretty lowly job in comparison to the United States president. I took the oath to uphold the Constitution. I think we have a picture, myself, taking the oath. Alyssa took the oath. You take the oath. And I will tell you, when you say those words, it feels heavy. It does. You're like, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. It feels really heavy, like, oh no. Like, let me go back and read the Constitution that I learned in law school, because it's a very important thing. And the piece that she was asking him about is the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution. And what that says is no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So you know how they're just disappearing people. They're just taking them, saying, you look like a gang member, so we're gonna deport you. Well, you can't do that, because nowhere in the Constitution does it say that just because you are here as an undocumented person, just because you came onto this soil without the proper documentation, you still don't get due process. One of the most wonderful things about the Fifth Amendment is anyone that is on United States soil gets that basic, very basic
You know
protection.
what I wonder? I wonder if when he took that oath of office, he thought he was saying that he swore to uphold the constipation of the United States, or maybe the confiscation of the United States. I don't know. Maybe he didn't hear right. But look, if that is your essential part of the job, is to uphold the Constitution.
Yes,
it is like you've got one job, dude. That is your job. If you can't do it, then get the hell out. And I'll tell you, if you're not, and you were talking about this is him really saying it, not an AI image. Yeah. And that was a reference to something else he did this weekend. And let me just say this. I realize this is part of his distraction strategy, so that we're not talking about him not following the Constitution. I realize this is him trolling us, so that we are outraged and talking about it. But okay, I'm gonna take the bait, because I'm a flawed Catholic, but I'm a Catholic still.
Yeah.
Him tweeting out an AI-created image and the White House official account of him posing as the Pope is disrespectful. It is frankly disgusting, and it is outrageous. Many, many Catholics, people of faith who actually do believe in God and believe in the rituals of the church, not the people who wear crosses just for the sake of wearing crosses, people who actually believe in that are bereft over the death of Francis. This is one of the most solemn times in the Catholic Church, when they are in the process of selecting a new pope. And so all of those devout Catholics that voted for Donald Trump, because they thought for some reason he was a better representation of faith than other folks. I think you need to ask yourself some questions, and I think you need to ask the White House and Donald Trump some questions, because Trump, Mr. President, it's His Holiness, the Pope, not his oiliness, the dope.
Well, I had a slightly different response to those AI images, because as much as I see the offense of him pretending he's the Pope, all that came to mind was that teacher in France, Samuel Paty, who was decapitated for showing an image of Muhammad in a lesson on free speech to 8th graders. So I'm grateful that I live in a country and live in a belief system that would not kill someone for showing an image of something, because the fact that we can criticize these images and live fine is the gift in this one. In regard to the Constitution, I was more put off by how lightly he addressed the recession. So we know he doesn't know the Constitution, and we can just say January 6th. Like, he doesn't even realize you have to peacefully pass off or transfer power. So this is not, well, he knows, but my point is he doesn't care, and he disregards it in everything he says. But he casually dismissed a full recession. He kept saying it's going to be great in the long run. There are people that don't have a long run. There are people that are living right now that are tapping into retirement, that are tapping into 529s, and they are hurting. So we don't have that kind of time. And he's a president for right now, not for whatever this big plan is none of us understand.
Well, and I try to keep myself honest from not falling into too far of a partisan trap. And I often ask myself, how would I react if Barack Obama or Joe Biden said this? And if one of them was asked, do you have to uphold the Constitution, and said, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would be leading Republicans with pitchforks to say, like, this is just undermining your basic oath of office. But I took the same thing. He was also asked kind of about threats of a recession, and he once again reiterated this line, you know, you may not, your daughter may not get $30. She might have 3.
Don't
you may only
pencils.
get 1
he added
pencil.
250 pencils. What is it, an SAT testing site? No one gets pencils.
Which was a throwback to so many of us who are free market conservatives. We use the iPencil as a reminder of how the free markets actually empower us and how our economy is supposed to work. It is just such a vast departure from what the Republican Party once stood for, but also what he promised and was elected on.
Voted in
prosperity, bringing back jobs, bringing down inflation.
But he didn't do that the first time. He's not doing it now, and I'm just gonna say it again every time we have to talk about it. This is on us. This is on us. If you don't like what you're seeing, if it's bugging you that your 401k is just a now, if you're worried that your Social Security is gone and you worked your whole life and this is what you got, if you're bothered that your child, who may be a transgender child, is not getting any help from anywhere, these are all things people keep saying are woke, but these are real issues for people. All of these things. If these things that he's doing don't bother you, then you're in the perfect country. If they do bother you, you need to make sure that you get out and you start to make your voices heard, march, yell, scream, because that's the only way it's going to shift. We have to shift it.